Hi Joe, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, did you have a good time?
Yeah.
That's good.
Busy time.
Yeah. Wow. Is that good?
Yeah. Yeah, good in bed.
Well, now I want a holiday.
I'm back. Up a holiday.
That's good.
We're live for.
All right, we are live. Well, I am hoping that we will be done by 3:30. I guess 3:30.
Oh, good.
I don't know if there's a big difference of opinion about this matter, but if you'd like to join in the karakia tūmatanga, Pakataka te hau ki te Pakataka te hau ki te tonga, kia mā kina ki uta, kia mā karata ki tai, e kia matukura, e tio, e ura, e au, tihei mauri. Well, so, and we have apologies for Greg for lateness, and maybe for me for leaving early. It's just my wife.
What's that, 4:15?
No, my wife really needs to go to the physio. She's got a sore leg, so I might need to leave early to assist with that. And any declarations of interest? Nope. All right, I'll just move that pursuant to Standing Order 3.5, the following standing orders be suspended to enable discussion regarding agenda item 3, so that's 17.5 and 18.1.
Suspended.
Seconded by Tim. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
It's carried. All right. Thank you. Has everybody had the opportunity to read the draft I sent through before?
Yes.
Does anybody want to add or subtract to it?
Happy with it.
Okay, Jackie, Joe,
I'm happy with it too.
When we finished up past Alex.
Alex. Well, in that case, I'll just sum up and then we can probably move that it's our submission. But I wanted to give a kind of a bit of a.
If someone's watching, it'd be good to let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody is watching, I don't know if there is, I can read out the introduction that we've included and then the options that we've picked. So the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board appreciates the opportunity to make a submission to the Christchurch City Council on where should we send, it says be sent at the moment, we send the green bin organics consultation. The board wishes to be heard in support of this submission. We wish to acknowledge the long-suffering community of Bromley and the people who have fought 14 years for their right to clean air and the quiet enjoyment of their homes. We urge the council to prioritise providing a permanent end to the odour as quickly as possible and a transitionary option that best meets with that aim. The council should never have allowed. I agree. That was it. Yeah, pause. So Greg, I'm just reading out the submission, which everybody, hopefully including you, if you've seen the draft I sent through. Okay, I'm just reading through it now. So from the council should never have allowed processing of curbside green waste in this location in 2009 and should have required the rebuild of the plant post-earthquake to be up to specification. The question remains unanswered why the operator has not been held liable for failing to meet the conditions of the resource consent and thereby the terms of the contract. It's also unclear why it took Environment Canterbury so long to respond to complaints from the community, but we wish to acknowledge the efforts of elected regional councillors in the last term and the current term have successfully pushed for enforcement action, and the local MP who placed public pressure on both authorities to take action. The board also wishes to acknowledge the diligent work of council staff who have been working on this matter more recently, but also dealt with the community with grace and understanding. Get to this point, where we are discussing transition from the OPP to a new facility elsewhere, has required everyone working together and listening to the community. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So that's the introduction, which will be in our full submission, but not in the electronic form. And so in this draft said that our preference is in order is one is send it to Cape Valley for the obvious reason that it offers the most immediate solution to the long-suffering community. Option 2 is the partial processing of material at the organics plant, or as it says, the organics plant, processing plant, and the organic processing plant, because if it's not possible just to send it all to Cape Valley, then and sending this and sending it to the North Island is just cost prohibitive. It's exceedingly expensive and has massive emissions, and obviously the status quo is not viable. So I've said in the comments, the board supports whatever option will stop the stink quickest, and whichever option will have the least impediment on the permanent closure of the Metro Place organic processing plant. The community has been through enough for long enough, and they will not find rest until all processing ceases at the OPP. This is why we support sending the waste to Cape Valley. And then at number 2, if South Island processors became available to process our mixed curbside organics, where would you have ranked this option in question 1? Because obviously, if there is a local option, a South Island option that's not going to be expensive, it's not going to be going to landfill, and it's not going to be at the organic processing plant, that seems like a logical thing to do if we can. And then number 3, if the North Island processor was chosen, which to be honest with you, it will be, we will need to manage some organics locally. Where would you prefer it went? Send it to Cape Valley, the same reasons as we've said above. Or if option 2, Cape Valley landfill is chosen, it's to be an E on the valley, we will still need to manage some organics elsewhere until Cape Valley landfill can take it all. How would you prefer it gets processed? And I've said, although this comes with all the caveats above, composting at the existing plant, because sending it to the North Island would be, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
It's about in South Island.
Oh no, so this option 2 is about sending it. So if option 2, which is sending it to Cape Valley, so it will take a while for it to get there. Sorry, I got muddled up. If they can't send it all to Cape Valley initially, doesn't make sense to then set up another option, because we've said previously we want it to go to Cape Valley, or we want it to go to an alternative processor. While we don't want it at the existing plant, it doesn't seem to make sense to do anything other than to for a short time compost at the existing plant. Not ideal, but in this option there's just no ideal.
Yeah.
Is it worth mentioning processing greens separate from other like meat waste?
They won't look at it.
They won't look at that.
And there is
the other waste could go in the red bin.
Yeah.
And green is green.
Yeah.
So and I think we have to take the advice that we're given, but one is that it won't make a meaningful difference to separate out the because my understanding is that because before we had the processing green waste that just that people took to the dump, but now we've got all the stuff that's coming from household gardens and the grass, especially the grass and all that stuff. Like it's not the addition of the food waste. Removing food waste will have negligible.
Minimum. Okay.
Most of the green bin is grass.
Yeah.
Branches.
And plus the educating people to do it differently is a mammoth task at this point.
Well, that's what they wrote about. If you changing it back to the.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, and that was one of the comments that staff said when they presented was to change it now and then change it back would be almost impossible because it's really hard to change people's habits to start with and then to change it back to what it was.
Because I thought the same thing.
So the best outcome, so the final comment, the best outcome would be if the council were able to quickly transition to a permanent replacement organic processing plant in the South Island, and in the meantime stop processing at the existing plant. Don't think it gets more simple than that.
I'm happy to move it.
And one thing in there, didn't see anywhere amongst that it said that. Do they know what their capacity is at the current site that they believe they can avoid odour?
So there is a theoretical amount that they think that they can do, because, you know, without storing it outside and keeping it all, but I mean, I'm of the view, and this is the community view, that there's no amount that's going to, they're going to reduce odour by having less go through. That's about the only thing that we can say for certain. But as one of the local residents says, it's World War I technology. You know, the plant's never been up to scratch. There's no amount that's not going to create a stink under certain conditions. All right.
I'm going to second.
You want a second, Alex?
Yeah, unless you want to, Paul.
It's all right. I'm happy to chair the meeting. You can second. All right.
Will we second and resume standing orders or the resolution?
Well, we've got to resume standing orders in order to pass it. So all those in favour of resuming standing orders, say aye.
Aye.
Against. Carried. Now, with Jackie's moving the organics processing plant. Do we have a seconder for that? Oh, I think I'll second it. Any debate? I just want to say thank you to everyone from outside the Linwood ward for your support for
What is a very, very complex issue that is close to our heart.
It does affect us all.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, we've managed to stop it, you know, through partly through the efforts of this ward. We managed to stop it being spread into the coastal ward.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're slowly, we're in the tunnel. We can see light, and that could, hopefully it will be shorter rather than longer. And we'll get smacked in the face with light. Yeah, but thank you.
We're looking at July anyway.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that you just said before that Jackie's going to move it.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get it since 2016, so, you know, yeah, it's a long.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried.
Sweet.
All right, thank you. And well, if that, no, we don't have anything else on the agenda, so
It's record time.
let us close the meeting with our karakia.
Those you've actually beat my time now.
All right.
Are you guys started yet?
No, kia tauti rangi Māori, o te rangi e tu iho nei, o papa tuanuku e takiho nei, o te taiao e awhi nei, ki runga i a tātou. Tihei mauri.
Yes, Cindy, I will be